Okay, so we're breaking everything down, understanding how antigen work, understanding how antibodies work. And I knew about the word antigen a long time ago when they deemed that pollen was antigen. And I always had some kind of allergic reaction, like a major allergic reaction to pollen in California. And I would always be sneezing and bloody noses and everything every spring. It was just horrific every spring. So I was always under antihistamines when I was a kid, whether it's Benadryl or I don't know, Triaminic, whatever. Okay, so I knew that I had some kind of issue, autoimmunity now, as I look back on it, with the pollen in my environment. And so every single time I would breathe in the pollen, my body would go into an immune response. And that's the antibodies going after that pollen. Instead of it just going, okay, it how instead of antibodies being released as from the excess, my body was actually taking in that programming, and it wasn't strong enough to be able to handle being around that much pollen. So anyways, so that's what antigen is. The body by itself, when it's not being influenced by biotech, can have its own programming of the antigen, such as when you walk someplace and you haven't been exposed to either a virus or a specific plant material, you might get a little bit of an allergic reaction because there's antibodies, because it looks like an invader, and then the body will recognize what it is and adapt to it. Okay, so when you are around it again, it's not that it's killing anything, it's just the fact that your body's adapted to it. And it's not automatically producing antibodies on a continuous level. Because I can be around, it's interesting, I could be around pollen now in the springtime and I don't get the allergic reactions, which means that my body has been able to adapt to it. It's when you have any kind of reaction as the body is not adapting to your environment because of the constant attack on the body. Like it's that, like when you have an autoimmunity, the body is not allowed to adapt to its environment. It's like under constant attack. It's like it's saying, no, it won't let anyone in. Okay, type of thing. And so when you look at cancer as an evolution, because cancer is evolution, it's a growth, when they're actually taking the different viral triggers that make up the cancer growth, because yes, cancer has been linked to agonist antibodies that have been promoted by different viruses in the environment that you can't get away from. There's all types of viruses, low level and high level, or aggressive or non-aggressive viruses. So when somebody has breast cancer or brain cancer or lung cancer or whatever, and now biotechnology is tweaking the genome again, and they are trying to isolate those specific viruses in the person's body. So they take a sample, like they do a biopsy, take that sample, break that sample down, find out the different viruses that are actually causing, because there's a few viruses, not just one virus. There's no breast cancer virus, okay? There's a few viruses that are causing growth, right? And so they isolate those specific algorithms, put that in a vaccine, and that's an immunotherapy against that specific algorithm, okay? And so that's another type of autoimmunity. So, wow. So that right there should tell you that they know how to program the body against itself when cancer is just the body trying to live and you haven't redistributed the properties correctly. And so when you weaponize the body against itself, that's when you have autoimmunity. And then when you start feeling those symptoms, then people take antibiotics. They take cannabis. They take painkillers. They anesthetize themselves. And so that is then contributing to the rapid accelerated decline. So if you just see the bigger picture of it all, hopefully I painted the picture big enough for you to see. If you want to live, and I don't even want to say indefinitely because that's so theoretically, if you want to live and survive all this on a day-to-day basis, not wonder when someone else can throw the towel in for you, because that's what's going to happen if you don't take control of your own life, you should do the Jilly Juice. Why allow somebody else control your lifespan? Like, I'm serious. Why allow somebody else control your lifespan? Every single time I have an event that is an evolution to my new environment because of a new variant, I deal with it. I don't have any problem. My dog, she deals with it. People don't understand that whenever you have some kind of symptom, it's because the body is trying to adjust to the new environment. And when people die from the symptoms, it's because they haven't given their body. And there's enough signposts along the way to let you know that you haven't given your body what it needs to be able to handle the new events. So yeah, you could be you could be symptomatic for 50, 60 years, and then you keep taking your evolution suppressing protocols and you think everything is wonderful. Oh yeah, I'm on this medication. Oh yeah, I took this, I took that. It stopped the pain and everything, right? You could do that for maybe 50 or 60 or 70 years, but some people are finding out that they can only do that for 50 years. They basically die from a heart attack. You know why? Because they didn't have what it takes. They didn't have enough of what it takes to carry them through to the next day because they couldn't handle the complete evolution. And that's the issue. So those that are afraid of symptoms, that's your body evolving. If you keep trying to suppress your symptoms, guess what? You know what's going to be inevitable? You're going to pass away, and it might be sooner than later. Oh, but you're supposed to die. That's exactly how you're able to sell people into the therapeutics. You're supposed to die. So, hey, we're just going to kind of theoretically, perceptually prolong your life. But then if you think that your life is like going to be only like 20 years and you think you're going to die tomorrow because you had a symptom, then, you think you bought yourself, you think you won the lottery. That's the perception. That's why selling perception in marketing, especially in the holistic allopathic world, is so lucrative, because it's so easy to get somebody who is weak, who thinks that because they had a symptom that it means it's the end of the world. And if they were to go to this person who can stop the symptom and kind of give them a guarantee, that it's going to work on some level. But then, the medical group can't always guarantee, because they have to look and see how much life is left within you, and can you afford to take away another 20% so you don't have to feel the symptoms. Oh, it's some crazy stuff. This is very complicated for some people. I understand that, because they don't want to feel pain. They don't want to feel evolution. They don't want to feel shit. They just want to be a numb zombie that just is strictly in reactive mode. And that, is a sucky way to be, because when you're always in reaction to somebody else or what they say, what they do, what they feel, then you're being constantly controlled by their gaslighting. And I'm telling you, everyone right now is being gaslit. If you are constantly reacting to your environment, to what somebody is saying or doing, to whatever, you are allowing yourself to be gaslighted. And then they can take that information and use it against you in some way, shape, or form, because inevitably they'll take something out of context. And then you're like, that's not what I meant. That's not what I mean. That's not what I said. And believe me, how I know, because I've been gaslit for a few years around the J-Juice. I finally stopped being gaslit because there's no way I'm going to reach everybody, and I know it. So if they're reacting to me, it means they are being gaslighted by me, but they're choosing to be, because you can just unfollow. So if you're reacting to me in such a way that's very negative, you're choosing that. You're actively choosing that. Nobody is forcing anyone to find me as far as the internet and my videos. Okay? So if you are choosing to be reactive to my information, then you're choosing to be gaslit. And then no matter what, that reaction is going to be used against you. Not because of me, because you're going to then confirm every single confirmation bias in your world, which is going to entrench you in your belief system. So nothing I would say anyway would penetrate, and it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy on your end. And you come out basically the loser, because you're still going to pass away and you're still afraid of symptoms. So, understand that word gaslight, that really makes a lot of sense in so many ways, on so many levels. All right, I'm going to do some work, but I just wanted to cover that thing about immunotherapy. It's not a good thing. Anyone that takes part in the medical holistic industry, I really feel bad for. Days are numbered in this environment. All right, bye.